And Treasurer Josh Frydenberg joins us now. Good morning to you, Treasurer. Thanks so much for being with us. You must be very encouraged by yesterday's results from South Australia.
Certainly, and obviously the state government there has acted preemptively to ensure that there's not a broader spread of virus cases, and we know that they have a good contact tracing program, and of course the rest of the country now has been very successful in suppressing the number of cases, and that's allowed our economy to open up and the jobs to come back. And just yesterday we got the jobs numbers for the last month, where 178,000 jobs were created, and the effective unemployment rate across the country came down from 9.3 to 7.4%. So these are encouraging signs, but we have to remain vigilant, and we do know that the virus can pop its ugly head up from time to time, and we need to be able to suppress it effectively when it does.
That jobs growth was higher than economists were predicting, which was good. Treasurer, New South Wales is now the only state with an open border to all of South Australia. Just looking at this, from an economic perspective, how challenging is it to have borders open, then reopen every time there's an outbreak? Do you think that perhaps the states have overreacted to Adelaide's cluster?
Well, it's certainly very frustrating for businesses, and particularly those that work across state boundaries, including our airlines, our transport system, our agricultural sector and the like. But states are taking the advice of their medical experts, but our view is that closed borders cost jobs, and that's why we've been outspoken in the past. But obviously we've got to try to suppress the virus when it does arrive, and obviously we're hoping that all the borders can be open by Christmas.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, also making news today, accusations that Australian troops committed brutal war crimes in Afghanistan have left many shocked and horrified, Treasurer. How does the government now support the ADF to repair some of this wrongdoing, both here in Australia, but importantly in Afghanistan?
Well, these are obviously very serious allegations, and we saw from the comments of the Chief of the Australian Defence Force yesterday, and from our Prime Minister and Defence Minister in days prior, that we are establishing a process to assess these allegations, to investigate them. We'll be setting up a special investigator to do so. And obviously we need to get to the bottom of these cases that have been identified by the Inspector General. At the same time, they shouldn't overshadow the incredibly good work that our Defence Force has done in very difficult and challenging times, whether it's domestically, their response to the bushfires, and with COVID-19, the incredible work our Defence Forces have done, but also overseas. And clearly there are thousands of men and women in our Defence Force who've done an outstanding job and should be heralded for that.
Treasurer, some good news for the government. A review has found Australia's retirement system is both effective and sustainable, but I think that many retirees would still say that they are struggling. How are you ensuring older Australians have enough for a comfortable life, especially because we're now living longer?
Well, this is a really important report. It's the most comprehensive review of our retirement income system since compulsory superannuation began back in 1992. And this independent review, led by Mike Callaghan, including Professor Ralston, who's been the head of the Alliance for a Fairer Retirement, and Caroline Kay from the board of the Future Fund, they looked at the three pillars of our retirement income system, namely the age pension, compulsory super and voluntary savings, including home ownership. And they did find that it is an effective system, that it is sound and it is sustainable. But they also pointed out that we could increase awareness about people's ability to draw down on their super rather than leave it at a bequest when they tragically pass away, to use that superannuation in their lives to support their retirement. They make a number of other observations about the superannuation guarantee, about the age pension, about the importance of home ownership. So it is a comprehensive report, more than 600 pages in length, and it will be looked over for weeks to come.
Well, I know what I'm doing on the weekend then. All right, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
Just some light reading.
Great to be with you guys.